Welcome to the Orlando Lions Den podcast, your number one Orlando City podcast. For the fans, by the fans. For the fans, by the fans. Keeping you in the know on all things Orlando City since 2018.
Hello. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of Orlando Lions Den podcast. It's your boy Alex Brown. Swag, I'm here tonight with Eddie and Mike. We're excited to have you on. We're talking about the draw against New York City and looking forward to the League's Cup. I think we are. I don't know how you guys stand on it, but we'll talk a little bit about it here coming up. Thank you guys all for listening and joining us in Den After Dark. We always appreciate that and listen to the pod. So thank you guys for your continued support. Eddie, you're back on tonight. We're on a little bit of a time crunch. The famous last words. We're going to make it quick. So what's up, my man?
Yeah, it's good. I think it's back-to-back weeks for me. You know, it's like the club is streaking. Got a streak going on. So do I. So good to be here, and we got a lot to cover, and we'll try to be a little snappier than usual.
Yeah, I think we discussed a lot of what we're going to talk about tonight. We discussed on the Den After Dark. I think we had some really good talks about the match and some even better talks about the League's Cup, some friendly, bantering and arguments going on there, some debates, so you might want to put it as, but it was some good conversation. So if you haven't listened, go check it out. And I will, of course, be a little more family friendly. I think there's a couple of curse words on the Den After Dark, but that's why we made it. So I'm sure none by our man Mike down there.
I've never said a bad word in my life. As far
Never.
as I could say. No, never. I've always been a good little boy when it comes to my language. But I appreciate the club. You got the nice hat on sale. I got the free bucket hat. I was gonna buy the hat because it was cheap, and then they gave me one for free, so I just decided to roll with this. I can't wear this the whole show though because it's covering my ears partially, so I can't hear you guys as well.
Yeah, we're trying to do a tight 45 and as tight as that hat on Mike's head.
I got a big head too,
Yeah.
so yeah.
$19.99. I wasn't gonna buy it, but 10% extra off, $18. Yeah, I had to buy the awesome hat. No, it's a great hat. Probably
That's what did it for you. That $1.90. Those $2 did it for you, Alex. Yeah, I hear you.
Kept it within.
That's what happens to your parent.
Erin was mad at me for buying it, and then I told her I got 10% off, and she was okay with it. So,
using their own tactics against them, huh, Alex?
Yeah, that's what I said. Hey, I used the discount code, so that's all that matters. I think it was 15% actually. I think we had 15% off. So, all right. So yeah, well, thank you guys for joining us. Let's jump quickly into the sponsors. We'll start off with Eddie. Obviously, he's right here, back with us again this week. We had Compare on Insurance Agency, run by Liberty Mutual. Eddie said he had a good day today at work, huh, Eddie?
Yeah, busy. I'm not even done yet. I'll figure it out, make it up tomorrow somehow. But yes, very, very busy. End of the month gets busy. People buying houses and renewals coming up. So busy day today.
Nice. Well, better to be busy than not, especially in your industry. So if you are buying a house, if you are shopping your auto insurance, if you're shopping your home insurance, don't just let it sit in escrow and renew and get higher and higher every year. And you wonder why your mortgage goes up. It's probably because your insurance is going up. So shop around with Eddie. Make sure you got the best discounts. Make sure that you have the best policy too, as far as your deductibles are concerned. Life insurance as well. Never too late to get that. Eddie can help you out with all that good stuff. We got Leo at the Epic Mortgage team, powered by You Mortgage. 407-844-7696. Apply with Leo.com. If you are buying a house, hit up Leo. He can write the mortgage for you. He can make sure you're locking in the rate at the best time, give you an outlook on rates, give you an outlook on the mortgage and real estate industry as a whole. So give him a call. That QR code works on the screen as well. And then also, if you're buying a house, hit up our boy Chad McGibbon at Chad McGibbon on Twitter. And he will help you out on the other half of buying a house, being your agent, your buyers or your seller's agent. Hit up Chad, huge Orlando City guy. And I know he would love to have your business. He's got the QR code on the screen, and it's at Chad McGibbon, I believe, on Twitter. So hit him up, send us a DM. We'll shoot you in the right direction on any of the platforms if you are looking to take advantage of our sponsors. Just remember, y'all, with these sponsors that we got, we're not getting paid by them. They don't pay us. It's these are just Orlando City fans that we like to shout out and give a little bit of a platform to run their life, their business. So this is how they make a living, and it's a really cool thing to stay inside that inner circle and use somebody like Chad or Leo when you're buying a house, or somebody like Eddie when you're shopping your insurance. So stuff that you need and run into, and we can help you out, and they can take care of you. And of course, if you need some good beer, hit up the Hourglass Brewery and the 2 locations down in Longwood off of Curry Ford by the Executive Airport. Our beer is still in stock. The No Mango No Party is still there. Beautiful image of it on the screen. I got 1 or 2 left in the fridge, but it's about time to go get some more. So head on down there and enjoy a Friday or Saturday night and grab a beer or 2 from Hourglass. It doesn't have to be our beer; it could be any beer. Once again, all right, let's get into it. Draw. New York City FC at home, coming off of 4 straight wins, 5 out of the last 6. We're hoping to make it 5 straight wins into the Leagues Cup. Honestly, I was about the 40th minute. I was thinking to myself, I was sitting by myself. Everybody bailed out on me, and I was stretching my legs with my 4 seats, and I was watching Mike and JJ hip to hip down in the first row, enjoying each other's company. But I was sitting there after 40 minutes going, this has got to be, I can't believe I'm here. This has got to be one of the most boring first halves I've ever seen. There was a few decent balls by us as far as attacking. We had a couple of chances, but we couldn't really convert. We should have converted, and we probably would have won if we had converted in the first half. Nico Ladero got the start, and he was suitable in that role. I thought he had some decent attempts at getting a couple of assists. He had some beautiful crosses into the box. Angulo had one that just was outside of the post, so Hayda could have gotten ahead on 1 or 2 of them too. So I thought he played well, but we didn't play well as a team to get a goal in the first half. And in the second half, of course, we get the goal. Hayda taking the shot, and Enrique just right time, right minute. It's a deflection. That's where it was, right place, right time, and got it in, and goes into the keeper's left, and we take the 1-0 lead, and they quickly get back at us. Janssen gives up on the play. Just a really uncharacteristic turnover from Cartagena. I can't. We've had some bad turnovers this year, but he hasn't had many bad ones. He's been decent throughout the year, so it was really, really weird from him. And to be honest, it was their only quality chance of the entire match, and we let them make it count, and we end the game with a draw, 1-1. Could have been worse. Felt like it should have been better, but overall, I'll take it against New York City. So tell me how you guys were thinking. Eddie, you weren't there. You watched it on the TV. Did it look any different, or I know? I mean, Janssen wanted the offside on that goal, man, but it wasn't offside. It wasn't even really close. We had a good view of it from where we sit, and where Mike, JJ, and I were, and I don't even think it popped in my mind that it was offside. I just thought they made it count. How'd you feel about it, Eddie?
Yeah, well, first of all, more importantly, it's like I didn't know why JJ and Mike just didn't scoot over and let you cuddle in with them. Get a little hip to hip, thigh to thigh going on there.
In our section, that's already happening at all times down there to try and high five grown men trying to high five other grown men, and it's not like it's the U.S. Olympic basketball team that's walking through the tunnel. No offense, but yeah, just a bunch of grown men.
I don't mind that.
I'll never get it.
Yeah, I don't mind it if it bothers me more. Let me put it this way: when they're pushing kids and getting all over kids, to do that. It's like
automatic.
Yeah, it's like adults sticking like their iPad at the Disney parade, or in front of like a little kid who's trying to see Mickey Mouse for the first time. It's kind of like that.
The,
But
the part that bothers me is that, and also the season ticket holders, the people that are there every game and try and get high fives every game. It's like,
gotcha.
It's a little weird for me,
JJ,
guy behind me, he's stuck in with his son. They were here. I wasn't sitting by myself in the second half. This is why I love soccer. This is why I love Orlando City. This is why I love my seat. He snuck his son down because they were from. He had a Alianza Lima kid on, and they're from New York. They're down here for a futsal tournament. He was having a dad and son time, and they snuck down at halftime, and they were just about to go back up. And I said, "You guys, nobody's in those back two seats. You guys can just sit there." And he offered to buy me a beer, and we were talking the whole rest of the match. And guys like that, I don't mind. He's from New York. It's his first time. He was here just to see Pedro and his Peruvian, him and Vilder. That's why he was here. And I don't mind. He was doing box out jobs for his son, so his son can get in. But when you're just there's one of the dudes that was in the halftime kickoff, the ball to the spot was a guy that I've had a run in with before, and let's just say it wasn't disappointing for me to see him not take home the $100 Circle K gift card. So
I forgot that's a thing.
But anyway,
yeah. Nonetheless, well, the match I felt like it was kind of like a boxing match where the two fighters are kind of jabbing from the outside, not trying to leave themselves too exposed, a little cautious. Felt very, very safe. NYC, they're good in transition. And Orlando was being cautious with the ball, and I think trying to be clean because they really killed us. They really killed us at the last match, losing the ball in a bad way. That's what when I didn't know it was the NYCFC blog website asking me to write our side. I said we got to be clean in the midfield because that's where you guys last time, and they really leaped on transition. And lo and behold, Wilder, who I've got to be the biggest Wilder fan out there. Wildebeest blew that one pretty bad, very kind of lazy pass, got picked off, and defense was just too open. Santos was already, trying to get involved in the build-up, and he was up higher, and Janssen was kind of hung out to dry. So that was unfortunate. They had a good chance of a pullback around, sometime in that first and that second half, and in the first half they had a decent shot where Pedro parried it into poorly again, but Angulo bailed him out. But yeah, I didn't feel like we were super dangerous. The XG is on the NYCFC side, a little bit over 1. We were under 0.7. I think it meets the eye test. We didn't create any super great chances. But, credit to Ojeda playing out of position. He's been, this run has been going on while he's been the 10. Nico, it's the 10 suits him more than being an 8, like he has been most of the year. I thought he was okay. I thought he was fine. And Ojeda cut in, and Ramiro did like what you see in hockey sometimes. Someone hits a slap shot, and someone just right at the goal kind of just sticks their stick out there and redirects it. And I don't think Ramiro meant it, but the guy's riding high. 4 goals in 4 games since he got his green card. So Ramiro is doing great. And when you're rolling, man. That was fortuitous deflection. I think the keeper had that saved. I don't think the Angulo shot was going far enough to the post. It's hard to tell for certain, but it didn't look like he was too worried, and then it just redirected it, and hey, all goals count, whatever. And from that point on, as long as we had kept it clean, we would have probably taken the win. I don't like that it would have been another 1-0 kind of poppy thing. I don't want us to start reverting back to super cautiousness and kind of deferring in a certain way when we face good teams. So I predicted a draw because I think NYC, I respect them. I think they're good, and we haven't been good at home. But I did want to see a really good performance against a good team to say we're really, really a threat. It wasn't a bad performance, but it wasn't as good as previous ones. And it just kind of confirmed what I thought already, that we're on our way up, but we're not there quite yet. I thought this match kind of proved it a little bit, where we weren't really creating chances like we were or like earlier in the season.
Yeah, I was hoping for the same thing and to get a result against a team that, especially at home, and you're on a 4-game winning streak, to get 3 points, felt like it
That
would
would
have
have
been a
been,
little bit more validation.
yeah, and it would have been a great way to end the regular season this before this break and the League's Cup's coming up. And for a lot of people, that would have been the last match they've seen for a month. It would have been a good way to go out.
I'm not going to touch that one yet. All right, Mike. What do you have to say about the draw there?
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys pretty much already said it. This is one that it should have been 3 points. I'm not going to say that we deserved 3 points from it because the performance doesn't say that we really deserved anything. But it was disappointing to not come away with a win. Because like Eddie just kind of said, we really are kind of looking for validation because we've strung together, realistically 5 results in a row now, 4 of them being wins and this one being a draw. But we're playing inferior opponents. That's the way that the schedule has been laid out. This is a team that is a playoff team we're playing against, and we stumble. And that's the thing is in this stretch of games, we haven't been making the dumb defensive error. Those errors that led to us getting beat down in Fort Lauderdale at the beginning of the season, and early games this year. Those errors that we were having on a consistent basis, we haven't had those happen in this long stretch until this game. So it was upsetting to see us concede a goal in such a stupid manner, for lack of a better word. Our players are better than that, and they know that. So that was disappointing. Obviously, all points matter. It's good to get a point. That's definitely something that you're happy to see, and it's someone posted something today, and I know I retweeted it. 13 points in the last 5 games. That's the most of anybody in the league right now. So there's a lot of momentum behind this team at the moment. But this is just one of those ones that felt like we definitely should have gotten more. Again, not saying we deserved more, but it's disappointing to not get more.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at it. We got 9 wins and against 9 teams that are below us in the table.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah, we haven't beaten any of the 14 teams ahead of us. We have not beaten. I mean, we lost to Red Bull. We haven't beaten New York, Charlotte. We tied right on the road against Charlotte, and
Miami lost, draw.
Yep, Columbus and
we lost. How about Cincinnati?
LAFC lost. Yeah, that's Cincy. I believe we play. Have we played Cincy already this year?
I don't know. I know we play them soon. When we play them
near
the end.
In May, we lost at home 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0 where what's it called? Lucho cooked everybody. Remember that?
Yep.
Or early on, like the first minute. Yeah. Then we play them October 5th again.
So I mean, and it's not like we are near the top of the table and there's only a couple teams ahead of us. We've had opportunities to get results against teams above us and wins, and we haven't at all. Not a single one out of our 9 wins. So they've all come against the bottom half of the MLS table. So
all points matter, but
it's still in the air.
We need some
Honestly,
other ones too.
It feels like a team and there's not many opportunities as we end the season. We play Columbus and we play Cincinnati, and I think those are the only 2 matches that we play against teams above us for the rest of the year. So that's good. For
Charlotte as well.
Charlotte, okay, yeah, at home. Yes, that might be our one and only chance. That'll be a big match, but in general, I mean, we're doing what we're supposed to do. We're right on what Orlando City's supposed to be, without the predictions. If you take those out, everything we're going to be Supporters Shield, contenders or whatever. But to me, it just feels like a first round exit, second round exit again with the team that we're playing as right now, unless some things start to drastically improve as we go now. I mean, we are beating teams and scoring more goals, which is kind of what we were doing last year. And I mentioned this to Mike last year, or on the walk back to the car this past weekend, and that it is promising to me if we're like the team last year, because I think we were 6 inches away from winning the MLS Cup last year. So, if Ojeda bangs that goal in against Columbus in the 90th, whatever minute it was, I think we probably win it all. And I'm just hoping we don't look back and say that was our one chance in however many years it'll be.
Yeah.
We got to keep building on it. So, all right, stock up and stock down, breezing through. I was happy with I thought, this is why I hate expected goals, 2.7. I mean, Ramiro forced a crazy save. It was a really excellent save. I know the shots outside the box, it's a low expected goal, but
Yeah,
I don't know if expected goals taken to how hot he is as a player right now. I think it just is super objective where it comes from on the pitch, and that's about it. It doesn't take into the fact that he had 4 goals in 4 matches and he's playing maybe the hottest he's ever played for us. So to me, that is, at least probably it should have been at least like a 0.3, 0.4 on the expected goals, just because of how he's been playing and the shot opportunity that he had. Muriel gets a chance at the end. Angulo had a good chance, but my stock up's got to be Ramiro. I'm so happy to see him back. Makes me feel like losing Duncan won't be that big of a deal, because he's scoring goals like Duncan would, and he's turning into the player that we all knew that he could be. I mean, I think we all thought that coming into this season, Duncan was a fantastic striker, but Ramiro, you could see the talent that he had. He's a ball hungry guy. He's one of those guys that is often in the right place at the right time, and he has some great, raw talent as well. He hustles, he works his tail off, he never stops running, and he just appears to be loved by the team too. So I'm excited to see Ramiro coming into how he is, and then stock down, I guess you got to give it to Cartagena, I guess, but
it sucks having to give it to him too, just because he also almost scored the goal of the season after that, where he did that sombrero move over the defender and forced another great save out of Matt Freese. Which honestly, shout out to Matt Freese. He's having a great season, just kind of getting the starting job for NYCFC out of nowhere, and he had a great game against us. So disappointing on that part, but credit to him for having a good game. But I'm gonna agree with you straight up. Ramiro's my stock up. I haven't given it to him yet, but 4 goals in 4 games, man. And that's scoring in each game individually. I don't think he's had a brace in any of them either. Dude's proving that, maybe we have the answer when Duncan's gone. Olympics are starting this week for Duncan. He's likely going to be trying to show off and show out, because looks like he wants to go. I don't think it's going to be to Torino now, because apparently they just signed Shea Adams. I don't think that's going to go ahead and tickle any people in Turin's fancy that much. It's not going to move the needle, but it's a name that they got for free rather than having to pay a fee. So we'll see how that goes. But stock down, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put it on the captain on this one, just because you hate seeing him kind of give up on the play thinking that it's offsides. It's just disappointing. You play to the whistle, man, especially nowadays in soccer, especially they're encouraging the flag not to come up until after the play is completed. Play until you hear a whistle. The fact that people still are kind of giving up on plays rather than finishing through. I don't know how it's still happening in the game when that's the way that referees are encouraged to handle situations. Play unless it's super obvious, the whistle's not getting blown. Play until you hear the whistle. I don't know why we have to say it over and over and over again. So stock up, Enrique. Stock down is going to go to Robin Janssen.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a good shot for Vilder too. That ball was going in.
Man, that had eyes for the bottom corner. It was going to kiss the post and go in if Freese didn't get a fingernail to it.
Right. I had called it a couple games ago that Wilder's due for a banger outside the box, and man, that was a fantastic save. Hyperextended his arm. Yeah, hyperextended his arm, but he did a sombrero and caught it on the half volley and just How volley when you get that, you don't have that friction on the ground there. You could just really catch it clean, and he caught it clean, and it's just bad luck there. So to me, Wilder's mistake, in my opinion, led to the goal, but I thought he had overall a good game. I've been talking about how he's good on the ball. I stand by that. That was a mistake. It was a bad one. No excuse. But generally speaking, I thought he had a pretty good game. So stock down. I don't know if I could give it to anyone particularly. Stock up Ramiro's for sure. But also, you know what? This is the same thing that happened last year. He gets a lot of grief. But last year we went on a good run with Rodrigo starting. So I just want to give Rodrigo a touch of praise. As he made a couple of decent stops in the box and hasn't really stood out as a problem for the most part during this stretch. And last year we went on a stretch when he was in as a center back and basically sat down Antonio Carlos. And right now, I think Bobby's going to keep riding with him. Brekalo's just going to have to wait his turn, I guess, unless Brekalo gets some Leagues Cup time.
Rodrigo is serviceable. He is a great backup. But then when he makes a mistake, it's not like, it's usually a killer mistake. Something that is easy to remember,
You feel like you're on borrowed time. It's like a ticking time bomb with Rodrigo. But while he's doing good, I just want to give him some praise. Well, he hasn't done it yet. So this is going to bite me in the butt. Next match, Leagues Cup, he's going to 2-foot somebody. And, and then we're going to play a man down against Montreal and ruin the Leagues Cup start.
It feels good, though, knowing that you have Brekalo off the bench. I prefer Brekalo in just for his presence on set pieces and corners.
Yeah. He almost got on one at the end there.
Yeah, that's the sole reason.
I mean,
I put him in.
It's a matter of time before Brekalo gets on one of those juicy Ojeda dead ball deliveries, crosses. Just a matter of time. The way Ojeda's pinging them in lately, it's coming. Brekalo's definitely going to get one. Brekalo's got one goal so far. I'm taking right now, guys. 3 goals for Brekalo, for 2 more for the rest of the season. Taking it or no?
I would take that. Yeah.
That's a juicy enough bet. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, look at that. I know you guys. I'm throwing out bets. You guys can resist.
Sitting over here knowing that you got the gambling guys on the podcast today.
That's it. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, I would like to see him play just more. I think he'll get some Leagues Cup minutes. He's got to get back into shape after playing 42 seconds in the Euros. So.
Right. That's like
42 seconds though, man.
Right. Like Arsenal's got their USA trip, and David Raya is sitting back. He played 1 game after they already advanced, and he's sitting back in Europe resting. Sitting there for a month doing nothing. Doing that.
Yeah. I think it's more
good to see Facu
back into it.
Right. Yeah, probably.
Man.
But
it was
I'm glad
good to see Facu.
Yeah, coming off at halftime, and look, credit to Oscar. He's not playing Muriel. He's not starting him. He's riding with Rodrigo while he's hot, and went back to double pivot, and he pulled Nico at halftime. So and credit to Nico. I mean, Nico makes he's had a good career, man. Champion 2 times, and he's a big player right now. It's still important. We need him, but it's not easy being pulled at halftime. And I thought Facu still looks good, a little sprightly, not his best performance, but we look so much more dynamic with him than Nico, just because it puts Ojeda in a good spot to kind of play off of Ramiro, overload on the wings, and be able to swing those crosses in. And Facu's just better at finding spaces than Ojeda is, in my opinion, when he's on the right.
I'm not gonna lie, I was worried because they were warming up in front of us for like last 10 minutes of the first half, and I was Facu didn't look like he was going to play. Let's just say it that way. He wasn't really warming up as hard as the other guys were, and he was given the vibes of he's got the whole night off type of deal. But when I saw him come in at half, I was like, especially with the rumor that he had got a knock, and there's I was thinking, man, I hope this isn't worse than or what we think it is. And when he came in and played 45, I was excited to see that.
And it looks spry. He didn't look like he had a knock, right? He looked normal.
No. Yeah, he looked normal. So all right. Let's hop into the Leagues Cup. We're right at 30 minutes. We're doing good, boys.
We're doing it.
This is where you derail it. So
sorry in advance. if you listen to the Den After Dark, I had a mini rant that generated positive conversation. But it's a cup coming up. We got a tournament. That's what it is. Whether you like it or not, it's got 3 Champions Cups spots up for grabs. Whether we're number 1 in the MLS right now or number 30, this is for any team a chance to get into the CONCACAF Champions League, and it is the best chance given the amount of spots that are given away. There's a lot of hot topics about boycotting the Leagues Cup, not supporting the boys, and not even watching the matches, which I think Eddie was kind of taking a dig at earlier. But I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid. It irks me in some sort of way. As somebody that's been to most of the Open Cup matches in the history of Orlando City, if not all of them, honestly. I know I missed a couple when I was in Key West, but it got canceled, I think, in 2021. We didn't play any. And in 2022, we won it, and I came up for the final 2 matches. And you know, somebody that's been there since we got in the MLS, I'll we never forget being at the Citrus Bowl with like 2,700 people there watching the US Open Cup, thinking, what is this? Is this even like, do people even like this? Is this even taken seriously? And I want to make something clear. It wasn't Orlando City's decision to not be in the US Open Cup. It wasn't the players' decision to not be in the US Open Cup, and to not show up and cheer them on if you have the opportunity, or even watch the matches. To not watch the matches. If you can't show up, that's one thing. I've been there before, but it's a Friday night. It's kind of weird. But if you're not even going to watch and root on the boys for a Champions Cup spot, I am judging. I am judging you because I enjoy watching us play anytime we can, and I'm always rooting us on. And the Champions Cup to me has always been the objective 1A, MLS Cup, and then the Champions Cup after that. So personally, I'm excited. I'm excited for the Leagues Cup. I'm excited for the fact that Messi's out. They're not going to be able to twist everything the way that they did last year to make Messi get to the final and eventually win it. It's going to be a more natural tournament this year. I'm not pumped about how it's put together with the 3 team group stages and the wonky we were talking about, Mike. Having 2 group winners play each other in the first round of the knockouts, and there's definitely some kinks that need to be worked out. But overall, we're hot right now. We're in the best form we've been all season. This is what we've all been crying about, and myself included, and all the angst has been building up in this city and regarding this team is all going away. And now's the time they need us the most. Now's the time to be there the most for this team. So I hope people will at least watch. I understand if you don't want to give your money to MLS for the Leagues Cup, then don't show up for the knockout stages. Those cost money. If you're a season ticket holder, tickets are included. They're free. They are technically free. When I go into my app and want to sell them, it tells me I paid $0 and 0 cents for them. They're not part of the season ticket plan. They're just included in. So that way you can show up, and it's something nice that they do for us. And when they included it, it wasn't they were like, oh, we need to make this nicer because we're getting rid of the Open Cup. No, this is not a decision made by anybody within Orlando City, unfortunately. So, Eddie, I think you feel a similar way. I think all 3 of us are watching. I think everybody on the podcast is watching. All 6 of us that are included. I don't think there's one of us that are going to be, boycotting the Leagues Cup like we've seen some of the purists out there say. But tell me what your thoughts on it are.
Yeah, I made that joke. I honestly I don't really care that much. It was just funny, low hanging fruit, and I get the reasoning. This tournament is ridiculous in the sense that it's not a real tournament if you're not going away to the Mexican teams. I mean, this is what makes it such a money grab to me, maybe for different reasons. And this is a money grab from the Mexican side. They say they schedule their matches in the U.S. They schedule their friendlies in the U.S. to get that U.S. Mexican expat and just Mexican bloodline here, Mexican citizens, etc., American Mexicans, etc. Money here because it gives them more money. This is an open thing. So that the fact that they don't care that their teams don't get a fair shake in the first place by having to stay over here, stay in a hotel for 2-3 weeks, not see their families, all that kind of stuff, and then playing this tournament just for money is a sham. I like the idea of growing the sport in the continent, and I've always been, particular to the idea that we're more unified than divided. This, North America thing is more American. The rest of the world doesn't teach this like two continents thing. It's, we're connected. This is more of an American thing. So I like that, the fact that it'll grow sport. I mean, the most popular league is still, Liga MX, or Premier League, whatever, but Liga MX is vastly more popular than MLS still. So I get both sides are taking advantage of it. But, if we win it, would I be happy? Sure. Just like the Open Cup, when we had an easy run in, we got a bunch of late goals. We had a bunch of things just kind of happen our way, and we played a bum team at the end. And I cried, and it was the happiest day ever. And if we win, I'd be super happy, but is it like a real thing? No. The benefit is really the CONCACAF stuff, the money that comes with it, the attention, the prestige, maybe help with transfers, just help bring extra money to the club. And I just like watching the boys play. The Open Cup, at the end of the day, was great. I really enjoyed it because I thought, when are things going to line up like this? When are we going to get this many home matches in a row? When are we going to get a USL team at the final? Not that we didn't beat other teams to get to the USL team, but it's easier to win a final when you're playing a USL team. And I just thought the stars have aligned, so we got to enjoy this. They should have not got rid of the Open Cup, but this is all U.S. soccer nonsense. It's not Orlando City's fault. And in the past, once I said just offhand comment, an hour and a half podcast full of just cathartic, just fun about what if the supporters, to show their disappointment, didn't cheer for a few moments. And it hit the fan. People went berserk on me. People went crazy, just subtweets and trolls and DMs and all this kind of stuff. And essentially, that was just saying, what if we did that for a half or for a moment, just to show some distaste about the team's current form and how we were, the coaching, and not accepting mediocrity. And the reaction was crazy. And then now it's intentionally being done by large groups at this point. So I get that there's a broader argument because of the U.S. Cup's history in this country. But I think a bit of that frustration is that fact that the U.S. Cup, even if it had it this year, was going to be watched going to be attended poorly. The ratings are going to be poor. They're going to play in backup stadiums like we did against Charlotte, playing in high school stadiums, college stadiums. Nobody cared already, unfortunately. So people are saying they should care about the Open Cup, and this is making it worse. But this was already the Open Cup it's not like it was platformed up well and it was popular, and this is kneecapping it. This is just putting something out of its misery, so to speak, right? And which is disappointing, but it's they're displacing frustration on a broader theme, which is the Open Cup being ignored and not funded, and taking it, the league showing a preference to Leagues Cup makes all of that more frustrating. But the reality is, if you are talking about an Open Cup from just a financial standpoint, whether it made teams money, whether it was worth it, I'm sure Orlando City lost money opening those gates anytime we had an Open Cup. Other than that final, we probably lost money. And as Alex said on the Then After Dark, the running on the wall happened because it was empty. It was a bunch of space. That's why you could run to an empty space, because it's empty for a reason. And I've been to, I don't think I've missed an Open Cup game. I've been to all of them. I've been to the Leagues Cup games too. And, I get my seats, if you look behind me, I'm at that D right there in the Orlando. But when it's Leagues Cup or Opens Cup, even Leagues Cup, I get to sit wherever I want because it's wide open because it's empty. Because all the fans don't show up now. Granted, a lot of the fans who are boycotting are the ones who did show up to the Open Cup. But if you're not one of those fans who didn't show up to the Open Cup before and you're boycotting it now, then this is kind of nonsense. I do respect those who are saying that if you who went to the Open Cup and are being are boycotting it now, I get them more. And I don't think it's not a necessarily bad argument, but it doesn't move me much emotionally where I'm going to miss watching my team play football. So I'm going to be going to the games. I'm going to be watching them. And that's pretty much it, I guess.
I get it. It gives me a lot of Save the Crew vibes, the whole situation. So
yeah.
Mike?
I don't mean to go on rant there, but that's
no, you guys are good. That. I mean, like, just my first ever Orlando City game was a U.S. Open Cup game. 2013 USL days. Orlando City beat the Colorado Rapids 3-1. I went to it because it was an opportunity to potentially see a cup set. I wanted to be there, and I'm happy that I was. I personally love the magic of the cup, but I agree with what you guys are saying. The Open Cup, and this is a conversation I had with Corey on Den After Dark as well, is that MLS and U.S. soccer both need to treat the Open Cup better for it to be successful. But at the same time, like, what you guys are saying is factual. Like, it hasn't been great. I mean, there literally wasn't even broadcast rights for the Open Cup this year. The only reason there was broadcast rights for it last year was because Messi made it far into the competition and Golazo decided to go ahead and pick it up to boost viewership. Like, U.S. soccer has kind of treated it like a joke, and it's one of those things that, as far as the Leagues Cup goes, like, I agree that the Leagues Cup is far from a perfect competition. I'm definitely not going to say that it's a superior competition. It's great that, it's Liga MX teams and MLS teams. That's cool. But Eddie has a big point in the fact that, well, until games are played on Mexican soil, this is kind of a sham tournament. But the only thing that makes it not a sham tournament is the fact that there's stakes involved still. Like, CONCACAF decided to give this tournament validity by putting Champions Cup spots on the line. So Alex is right. It's the best chance we have to go ahead and qualify for the tournament at this point, because we're not winning the Supporter Shield. We weren't allowed to compete in the Open Cup. We lost in the Champions Cup already. And we're on the on track to make the playoffs, but can we do well in the playoffs? I don't know. It remains to be seen. So I think it's important to highlight that, we know that, what was it? I think 2/3 of clubs roughly said that they didn't want to compete in the Open Cup, and the league ran with that. We don't know if Orlando City was one of those 2/3 that said they didn't want to do it.
It didn't sound like it. Yeah.
Based on the things that we heard, it really didn't sound like Orlando City didn't want to be a part of the Open Cup. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's something that we want to do.
Yeah,
exactly. So it seems like something that we wanted to be a part of. So as far as I'm concerned, I feel as though, support the players. They didn't make this decision. You can be mad at the league as much as you want. We're all kind of mad at the league because we think realistically, it's a stupid decision that it got here. But remember, they're going to be back at the table next year. I just hope that they come to a better resolution, because the way that it happened this year, I think no matter how you feel about it, we all agree that the way that everything went down was a bad look and it looked stupid. But the boys didn't make that decision. Orlando City didn't make that decision. So I'm still going to support the club. And frankly, we have momentum going right now. We need to keep that momentum going. If we're off for a full month, or we're playing players that aren't going to be playing games for us, it's just going to potentially derail us, and maybe we don't even make the playoffs at all. So in my opinion, it's best to keep going full tilt right now while things are working. If you're going to change anything, it's bring in players that you want to try and get them more time. Maybe Muriel starts a game or two. Maybe Bracalo comes in for Schlegel for a game or two. Like, we see them get some more minutes. I think that's more likely to happen than anything.
Right. If you feel like you as a fan, your support is what helps this team play well, then your lack of support, it works both ways, right? If your support makes them play well, then your lack of support shouldn't make them play not well, right? Not good. worse. And I have a question too for all the folks boycotting. I mean, if we make we get a CC spot next year, are they going to boycott those games too because they came off of from success in the League's Cup?
I think I saw someone actually mention to, Orlando City, UK, Taylor, about that being like, if we win the League's Cup, are you gonna or make it to the final? Like, are you gonna be cheering? He's like, I think I'm gonna stick to my guns, but I want to see the team win a trophy. So like, if you stick to your guns on that, respect, absolutely respect.
Yeah,
give you all the credit in the world.
I think it's a valid reason what they're doing. I don't think it's a bad reason. There's no reason to it. It just doesn't move me. I'm just kind of apathetic. Even Orlando City with the Papi and Papi, all this stuff. I'm just here for the journey, man. I'm enjoying the ride. I've been telling people for years. People think this is like a big spending, big market team. I'm like, bro, we're like Bournemouth or Brentford, or we're like, let's just enjoy it. When we have a good run, enjoy it. But we're not like perennial top of the table team. And if we could make a little run in the tournament, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm just here for the ride, and the results are, I'm not. It just doesn't move me. I don't know. Maybe I'm dead inside, but I get it, but I don't care.
All right, I agree, and we'll see. We'll all be there. Like I said, we're 6 for 6. We got 6 guys on the pod, and we all are going to be supporting the boys. So I hope you guys
I'll be there.
Too.
I'll be there Friday.
I'm gonna skip. We're not podding next week because we're gonna take a deserved week off, and we'll get back after the group stage. So I'm gonna just ask. We're not gonna preview each game, but I'm just gonna ask you guys, how's the group gonna work out? Are we gonna make it out? Are we going to the knockout stage? Or are we gonna win the group? What do you think, Eddie?
Yeah, I think we are. I mean, we don't have a tough group. We really should. If we don't get out of this group, it's a big disappointment. I think at our current form, we really should get out of this group. I think we can. Montreal isn't easy. They're not. I'm not going to dismiss them. We've had trouble with them in the past, but these 2 games at home, I really think we should see 4 from that. I mean, we should. I don't know. I feel good about it personally. Yes, I do think we will. I don't know if we win against Montreal, but then the next club, I can't even remember their name right now. I definitely think we should take them out, and that should set us up for success, I think.
Yeah, I think we win the group, and I think we'll get 5 points. Because remember now, it's they go into PKs in the group stage, 2 points for a PK win,
that's right.
1 point for a PK loss, so 5 or 6 points. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see us win both matches, and I think we'll win the group.
Yeah, Atlético and San Luis. Yeah.
So I'm taking a look at it right now, and I just want to double check where Montreal's game is at. Because if Montreal is their game against Atlético San Luis, if that is being played away or elsewhere, I feel like that's going to be something that, that's being played at Stade Saputo. So they're playing that game in Montreal. So that's my stance on it. Is we're playing on the we're playing on I think it's the 26th, I think.
Friday and then next
Friday.
Sunday.
Yeah, Friday and then next Sunday. There's a game on the 30th in the middle, and that's Montreal at home against San Luis. So San Luis, if you guys don't know, is coached by Dame Tarrant, who used to coach NYCFC back in the day. Wow. I think he was a disciple of.
He was assistant coach at Pep. No, he was assistant coach.
Under Pep.
You watch All or Nothing. He's the guy next to him. He's the guy that Arteta replaced.
Yeah, I mean the guy.
Arteta became the second in command.
Frank Boley, who was with Portland back in the day, not like a whole bunch of like huge names or anything like that, but they have an okay team right now. They're in 10th in Liga MX. Their season just started, but they're like on the fringe of making their playoffs right now. But realistically, you're playing at home. You've got to beat Montreal at home. San Luis is having this much travel. I think you have to beat them as well, or at least get a draw and then go into PKs. I think it's just something that absolutely has to happen. This team has been in too good a form to not do it. So I mean, Montreal, like I said, that's an easy one. You have to beat them. They're not in a great form right now. And you also mentioned if we advance, like I kind of took a look at some of the advancement scenarios just to give everyone like a small preview of what that looks like. We're in Group E2. We're playing people from Group E4 if we get through. We didn't get screwed like that went to groups in the West this year that got the bad layout of having to play either a group winner or a team that advanced that got a bye from the group stage. So we're either playing Philly, Charlotte, or Cruz Azul is what it looks like. If we finish in second, we're playing the winner of that group. If we finish in first, we're playing second place of that group. So win the group and you most likely avoid Cruz Azul. So that's what they should do. They should do that damn thing.
Yeah, I think we'll win the group and probably play. I mean, Philly's gotten better; they've gotten hot, so it'll be
at
interesting
least
to see which one.
Very, very, very recently, yes.
But yeah, it would be at home too. So yeah, I think that would be beneficial. So, well, Eddie had to go and pick up his daughter, so we tried to get it done, but we got into a little bit of a
so close
off the road, with the Leagues Cup. But I think it's good conversation. I think it's healthy to have the debate about it. I think everybody has valid points about it. I agree with Eddie where it does. I understand where people are coming from. I get the love for the Open Cup. I mean, shoot, we won the damn thing, and I love the magic of the cup. But that's I'm not going to let that impact me from supporting the boys in this cup. They could add the Charmin toilet paper cup, and if it has CONCACAF Champions Cup spots up for grabs involved in it, I'm gonna be there. It doesn't matter if we play, teams from Antarctica. I'm still gonna be there. It's just I'm gonna support them, and I'm gonna hope that we can advance into that tournament because that's, like I said, 1A for me.
Yeah, and realistically, just to follow up with that, like again, shout out to everyone on the Den After Dark because we ended up having a good conversation about that after the last game. When we have those conversations, it's from a place of love and respect. I feel like everyone in those conversations understands and respects each other's opinions. We're not attacking each other. We're not bashing each other. We're just, having opinions. And like my opinion is a little bit different than Alex's, is a little different than Eddie's, is a little different than Cleon's and Ryder's and JJ's. Like that's why we like having such a big group on the show as well, is because it gives us a better opportunity to have more of our ideas out there. Like my honest opinion, MLS handled this very badly, but U.S. soccer's also disrespected the Open Cup for a while. Like, all sides got to do better, and that it's one of those things. Two things can be true. It's not just one way is right, one way is wrong. Everyone's got to be better.
I think it's cool for there's obviously a lot of immigration from Mexico, and there's a lot of Mexicans in the United States, and there's not a lot of Americans that like MLS that are in Mexico. And I think it's sure you can call it a money grab, but I also think it's a great opportunity for, people that have immigrated here from Mexico or have their team in Mexico to go and see their team in the United States that maybe isn't as expensive or doesn't involve to take a whole week off of work to go do it. Maybe they're only 1 or 2 cities away, or maybe they're in their city and they can come and see their team play. I know there's kinks that need to be worked out, but if I was San Luis player or fan that lives in Orlando, I'm pumped about this, or wherever America is playing. If I live in their city, which I'm sure there are America fans that live in wherever they're playing, unless they have a bye, but you guys get the point. It's I think that's exciting for people that don't get to see their team play often, that live in the United States, that have jobs, and they are excited to see their team play and come play in a meaningful tournament that's not just a preseason friendly or something of that nature. So especially as the final comes on and it's the final, they play it at the home team stadium, or is there an actual place to play the final? Like
I haven't looked at the schedule. Let me take a look at that.
I wasn't a big fan of the cup last year just because of the messy,
took a lot of people out of it. Yeah.
Bleep. a lot of profanities that I could use there. But yeah, I mean, the point of the matter is, I think it's cool for people that live here and maybe get to see their team that they don't always get to see. Because I know for me, I would really appreciate that. I would love that if I was living somewhere else, and like when you move out to Colorado and Orlando City get to play and at the Rapids, that's going to be an exciting weekend for you, or
Oh, yeah.
a match for you, because you're gonna get to do something that you don't always get to do, and it's a cool opportunity. So, all right, let's jump quickly into the shout outs. You got one, Mike?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and give a quick shout out to our boy Duncan McGuire. As you know, obviously he's with the Olympics right now, the Olympic team right now. Their first game, I believe, is against France, or actually no, it's I think against New Zealand on Wednesday. Or no, it is France. France on Wednesday. So gonna go ahead and give them a quick shout out. And wish them the best. That France team is scary, but Duncan, go out there, make us proud. And I feel like you're likely not going to be coming back anyways. I say that with respect, obviously, understanding the situation. But if you're not going to be coming back anyways, man, go make us some money. Play well, score some goals, do the dang thing.
Yeah, and it looks like just to add on where the final was, Columbus or Nashville got to host it last year against Miami because they were higher in the 2022 Supporter Shield standing. So if we end up playing an MLS team and we make the final, we end up playing an MLS team, as long as it's not Cincinnati, we'll host the final.
That'll do it.
So there's a lot to be excited about. I'm going to shout out the U.S. Olympic team. Olympics start this week. And opening ceremony, I believe, is on Thursday or Friday.
Only thing I know is that the soccer team's not going to get to be there. That's the only thing that sucks.
Why they're going to be playing, or?
Well, I believe it's early, because their first game is on Wednesday, and it's not in Paris. I think they're playing in Bordeaux, so they're not going to get to actually walk out and experience opening ceremonies with the rest of the Olympians.
Okay. Yeah, LeBron's going to be carrying the flag. I love the Olympics. I love watching all the cool random sports that you never get to watch. Volleyball, beach volleyball, trampoline, weightlifting, gymnastics, skateboarding. Yeah, 3-on-3 basketball now. I'm excited for the Olympics. I tend to like when it's like Europe is like a perfect time for it to be on, because it goes on a lot during the day, and then I get to come home at night and kind of watch all the 2 or 3 hours worth of highlights and all the important stuff that goes on. And then on the weekends, I get to actually fully immerse myself in it. So I'm excited for the Olympics. It'll be a cool thing. Happens every 4 years, obviously, and obviously be cheering on the USA. So shout out to the United States Olympic team.
I'm there, man.
You got anything else to add, Mike?
No, I just like it's good conversation. We don't get to have like kind of spirited debate about things that people care about. And like I said, if you want to, I support how you want to support, but my main thing is the boys didn't make the decision, so I want to support the boys. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I agree.
On the positive, though, we don't got to support the All-Star game because we didn't send anybody there. So
yeah, I support Leafs Cup more than All-Star game. I hate that idea. And I was thinking about the Leagues Cup. I mean, I think it would be even cool. I think it is cool that the teams play each other, but I would like to see an amendment to where it's MLS versus Mexico, and each league has their own side, their own groups, their own side of the bracket, and the winner of the MLS bracket plays the winner of the Liga MX bracket, and it gets played in a big stadium somewhere in the U.S. because that would probably be an exciting event for sure.
Sure, man.
There's gonna be adjustments to it, and it's still in its infancy. So I'm sure that they'll make adjustments to it. But there is a positive like I said, if we make it to the final, we'll host it as long as it's not against Cincy. And Messi looks like he won't be playing. So it's already better than last year. All righty, y'all. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you guys always listening, and we appreciate y'all joining us. We will have the Den After Dark Friday at night, and next Sunday we'll have the Den After Dark as well, and then we'll be off a week, and we'll pod heading into the hopefully knockout stages of the Leagues Cup. We'll get it together and really dive into what it's going to look like and the bracket's going to look like once we get all that out. So thank you guys for listening. We appreciate y'all. And as always, vamos Orlando. See y'all next time.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Orlando Lions Den podcast. Don't forget to follow us at Orlando Lions Den on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. See you next week in the Den.